All right. Looks like everyone is coming in. Let's go ahead and get started. Do a couple things here, which is share my screen so we get that going. I know we have a few people coming in here, getting those faces. Hello, hello. Let's see where that is. All right. Okay, technology, y'all. So thanks for hanging in here with me as we sort it all out. For those of us in the room, do you see that screen? Okay, you see the good old-fashioned slides there. Hopefully that's happening. All right. And I just want to make sure we got everyone coming in. Yes, we got someone out there. Okay. Coming into the room. I see us all there. It's happening, y'all. Hello, hello. Thank you for being in the room. For my gals in the room, thumbs up. You see that screen there, right? Screen reflection. Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna get started. It's our first one doing this live, so there's a lot of tech involved, but thank you everyone for being here. So Whew, hello. Welcome to this month's reflection and planning session. Today we are closing out April and we are stepping into May with intention. So I'm really glad for everyone who's here. I see those of you on YouTube chiming in. Thanks for being here. And I got our team here in the room. So here is how this works. This is not a lecture. This is not a webinar. It's not one of those things where we learn enough, to try to last 30 days and then, do something crazy, right? This is not something where you passively listen and maybe take some notes, right? This is a working session. So we are going to slow down long enough to learn from the actual last 30 days and get clear on the next 30 ahead, right? The truth is, most people never pause. Some because we can't, we don't know how. Some because no one ever taught us the value of it, right? We just roll from month to month, reacting, rushing, carrying old energy and into new weeks. And then if we're lucky, once a year, we'll actually think about it and go, oh, new year, new me, right? Well, we are not waiting to that point. That's why we do this, right? This is why we institute our own change, we institute our own plans, and that's why we do something different here. What we're going to do here is we're going to reflect. We are going to notice the patterns. We are going to gather the lessons. We are going to name what matters. And then we're going to choose our next steps with clarity. So we do this every month. So those of you watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and join us for many of our free community sessions if you want to build a life and business that you can enjoy right now. So with that said, very quickly, for those of you who don't know, by the way, I am Tanya Marie Figueres-Preisinger. And because that is a mouthful, I go by Tanya MFK. Yes, that is me in the picture. And yes, I can kind of still do that. So that's a fun fact. I can still do it without total pain. So we're okay. I am the founder of Nowful Living, Time Design, and Mastery 360. And I have been supporting type A overachievers and solopreneurs with their life and business strategy for 25 years now, which is insane to say because it means I have gotten older. Okay, so there's a few fun facts of me there on the screen. And if you want to learn more, I am literally the only Tanya MFK in the world. So I'm pretty easy to find. So you can check out all you like about me there. With that said, again, hello and welcome to my M360 members who are here live in the Zoom room with me. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much. We are glad that you found us. You will be with us for the guided session today. And afterward, my members and I will stay on for our accountability breakouts and discussion. So everyone remember that, all right? So we're about to begin. If you have the worksheet, grab it. For members, it's in the member portal. I don't have a handy link for you right now, but it's in the portal. If for anyone else, you can find the link in the show notes of this session. It's right there at the top. And of course, y'all, a good old notebook, journal, back of an envelope, it works just fine, okay? We're not picky here. But please do write your answers. I understand you could do this in your head. There is something incredibly powerful, and it's also backed by science, that happens when you move something from your head into something that we can see or touch, right? So I do encourage you to write down your answers. even if you're going to burn them afterwards, okay? Just get that work, get that support, get that experience from brain to the world around you, outside of you, all right? So, very quickly, how this works. I am going to guide you through the questions here that you'll see on the slide. Those of you who will see them on the worksheet. Sometimes I'll have a little context, maybe an example, a reminder where it helps. You will have 1 minute to answer each question. That is intentional, right? It helps you not overthink. It helps you trust your first honest answer. And it keeps us moving forward instead of getting stuck in perfectionism, because that is not what this session is about, okay? Go with what feels true right now. You can always come back later, go deeper, something, gets your attention. Oh, I want to look at that more. Awesome. Set that time for right after this session, all right? So we will begin with reflection section first. We're going to look honestly at April. That's what we're looking back on. And then we will move into the planning section. So that way you leave with clarity and your momentum for May. Remember, this is your session. This is like the most I'm going to talk, okay? And then I'm just going to ask questions after that. So there are no perfect answers. No one is grading your worksheet. No one's looking at it. There's no gold stars. I'm sorry. I got none to hand out, okay? But you showing up, like there it is, your gold star. Woo, you're amazing, okay? Just answer honestly, step into that awareness, and you'll have those better next steps, okay? So that's it. That's all, y'all. Like, we're getting into it, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we will start with reflection. So first things, we're all ready. List every significant thing that happened this last month. So in April, everything, business, moves, decisions you've made, conversations that matter, things you did, places you went. Just when you look back on April, what did you do? What happened? Oh, yeah, we went to dinner. Oh, yeah, didn't we go to that event? Oh, we landed that client. We fired that client. That's what we're going to do. So go ahead and take that moment. You're looking at all the things that happened in April. About 20 more seconds. All right. Moving on to our next question here. What was your biggest personal milestone or personal accomplishment just in April? Just in April. Let's go ahead and give you a minute for that. And this can be anything. You drank the amount of water you wanted to this month, right? You stood up with courage with something. You were stretched. Right? It doesn't have to be loud or flashy. Something you're proud of that you did in April. 10 more seconds here. All right. Moving on to our next question, number 3. What did you do exceptionally well in April? Not just results. It could be how you showed up, how you followed through, restraint, communication, consistency, asking for help, recover when something was tough. Let's give that a moment. What did you do exceptionally well? And there is something. There's something that you did awesome at this past month. You tried hard. You parallel parked. Whatever version. It's a couple more seconds there. All right. Our next one, number 4. Looking back on April, what was your most valuable lesson learned? Something you couldn't have learned without living this month. A truth that's clearer now. Not something you read, but something that you lived, right? What do you know now that you didn't know April 1st? 5 seconds left. Wrap up that lesson. All right. So our next one, number 5. Looking back on April, remember, still in April, just this past few weeks. What was your most memorable day? Memorable day. Something that stands out for whatever reason. It could have been a crazy day, could have been a breakdown day, it could have been an amazing day. Whatever it was, just take note of what particular day stands out in April. You get bonus non existent gold stars if you also add why. Why did it stand out? Yes, love seeing our members in here. All right, just a couple more seconds. If you're just getting here, it's our monthly reflection and planning session. And we are just getting to number 6 in our reflection for April. So, what is something that you did this past month, this last few weeks of April, that you were like, wow, I loved this. Oh, that was so good. That was so fun. Whatever that was, something that felt aligned, felt natural, energizing, whatever it was. What was something that, like that this month, that you could pinpoint? Let's give you a minute to reflect on that. And remember, you can write these answers anywhere. If you're a member, grab the worksheet in the portal. If you're on YouTube, You can grab it in the show notes. Something you did last month that you loved doing. And honestly, it's probably whatever came to mind. I don't care if it was making a sandwich. Like, if you loved it, go with it. No one's checking your answers. Right? Go with it. All right. Moving on, number 7. What are ways that experience you just identified? What are ways you can have more experiences like that? What conditions might have helped create your opportunity to do that this month? Right? Is it something you could repeat? There's something that something you could protect or simplify to make that happen? Let's think about it. More experiences like that. And if you're like, there's no way I could recreate it, I want you to start a sentence with, but what if, and see where that takes you. All right. So we looked at something we love doing. We explored as maybe there's other ways that we could bring more things like that, exactly that, or similar into our lives. So what else do we have here? Number 8. What was the most challenging part of this past month? I know I had some. I think we all find some that comes along and goes, oof, that was rough. And how did you face it? Just take a moment to write that out. Challenging part and how did you face it? About 10 more seconds. Okay. Moving on. Number 9, looking back on April, what would you have done differently and why? Not judgment, just there's information you have now that you didn't have then. With what you know today, would you change something? This is past month, not life. Okay, just April. Okay, just April. What would you have done differently? Not would we prefer it to be different, but what would you have done differently, if anything? Either answer is an insight. That's what we're here for. All right. That can be a heavy one sometimes. So looking at April again, just April, what area do you feel you made your biggest improvements? Skills, habits, systems, emotional regulation, boundaries, decision making. Where do you see that you grew this month? Where can you see a shift? Some of you have been sticking with your goals, staying consistent, saying no when you need to, yes when you need to. Or maybe you increased your subscriber list, right? It can be anything. Maybe you made better lasagna this month. Doesn't have to be so big, right? We're just looking at our lives, just going, hey, what happened in April? That's all we're here to do. I'm working with a bunch of women on their stories right now, and a lot of them are like, I don't have this big thing. And it's like, your story's powerful. It doesn't have to be a big thing, right? It's big to you. That's what matters. Moving on. Now we looked at where we grew. What areas would you like to see more improvement? Now that you've looked at April, right? What is something that you're like, I would like this to be a little better? Let's check on that. But lasagna was good, but more basil next time, right? It might be that. And if you don't see that, if you're like, you know what, I'm good at this pace. I'm okay. That's an answer too. That's insight as well. All right. We're trucking right through here. Looking at April and where we are now. April 1st, right? April Fool's Day. Okay. We started the month with. How are you different this month, the end of April, than you were in March? Whether it's mindset, confidence, maybe just cut your hair, whatever it might be, go with your gut on what answer comes up here. How are you different than last month? Looks like I got some sunshine coming through. I'm gonna fix that just a moment. Here we are. Okay. We're already coming towards the end of our reflection part. So, looking at all the things that we revisited, we reconnected, choose a theme or emotion that sums up this past month. One word is enough, whatever that means. It can be several words, right? Just summarize or give a word to this month that means that explains it for you, sums it up for you. I'll just give a little short 30 seconds. If you're using the worksheet, this is at the top of your worksheet. where you sum up the month. Yay, she's got a worksheet. I love it. Isn't that we can see it? It's tangible. I love it. Okay, I think most of us have a thing by now. See there? Oh, I love it. Our members here, we got my theme is a rising star. Oh, that does sound like this past month for you. And then the next one's just going to be star and then shooting star. I love it. I love it. Okay. So that's the reflection part. Now on the screen, it's going to say take a break. We're just talking a little mental break, right? So we're not going anywhere yet. We're not doing anything yet. Um, but do take a break and look at what's in front of you. The, back of the envelope you wrote on, the worksheet, whatever it was, that was April. April 2026. That was it. It's not the rushed version, it's not the blurry version, it's just the real version. What happened, what was handed to you, and what you handled, what you learned, how you grew, what wants more attention now. And hold this moment because you really need to understand. It may not feel like much that you showed up and you answered 13 questions, but most people do not give themselves enough space to see their own life clearly. And you just did. And that's huge. That does matter because reflection without action just becomes nostalgia or self analysis, right? So we're taking that moment and it's really, really powerful, right? And now we're going to turn that awareness into momentum because we are now going to go and shift into the planning section and use everything that April has taught us, right? And we're going to build a strong May. Not a fantasy May, not an overbooked May, not a new May, okay? It's just the real May, an aligned May, an intentional May. I don't think I've ever said May this many times. May the force be with us. Okay, we're gonna move into planning. All right, I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but I had to. All right, so let's move in. I'm not anti Star Wars. Before anyone comes after me, I just don't know much about it. All right, so we're gonna look at the month ahead now. Right, we're gonna look at, yes, that was April. How are we gonna achieve our goals and focus for May? So let's start with. So have you ever take a breath that you need? I'm gonna exhale. Okay, I know there's like a couple days left, but come on, it's 1 day left, right? So exhale, April. We're gonna start to breathe in May. So grab that sip of water, whatever you need, and let's look ahead. Literally ahead. What do you look forward to achieving next month? Hear those words. What do you look forward to achieving? Not what do you have to do. There's a space for that later, but just in general, what do you look forward to going like, oh, I'm so excited to get this done finally, whatever it is, or maybe something doing. So not just tasks, but outcomes. How do you want to, what are you looking forward to actually having get done or completed or experience in May? I said April earlier. May. What do you look forward to being able to say you did? And remember, this can be anything. Solopreneur, sure, it's business stuff, but it can be non business stuff. There is no work life separation, it's all life, right? So whatever it is that falls, that's just happening next month. You get to write that down, all right? So moving on though. Now we talked about what we look forward to achieving. What actually are our top things that we know have to get done? The top goals for May. And this is where I'm really glad you only have a minute, okay? Not everything you could do, but the top things that you're like, this has got to be done. I want it done. Whatever it is, it's got to happen in May. So go ahead and let's get clear on that. Okay, pens up, papers down. No, I was kidding. It's like the test. No more writing. No more writing for the goals. Okay, so we got some ideas. I'm sure we got some powerful lists here. My question is, are these goals you wrote down for May? And this is just a quick gut check for yourself. When you zoom out, now my members, you guys know we do this work a lot, and I still haven't fixed the G's in the bigger picture of all this time. Um, we have solid clear goals what we want for this year. We have goals that we want for our life, for our vision. So these smaller things that you want to accomplish in May, maybe they're not smaller, are they aligned with the bigger picture? And that's just a quick check for yourself. We're only going to take about 20 seconds for that yes and no, but look at that stuff in May and then remember that bigger thing that you want, what the true vision is. Are they aligned? Some of us, that's an easy yes. Some of it might be an easy no. And if we're in between, we just gotta figure out what do we do with that. If it's off, we need to look. What does that mean? Do we still want that bigger thing if we have goals that aren't supporting it? So if your goal is to work out every day for the month of May, but you also have a goal to marathon 4 different sitcoms, are those goals aligned with the bigger goal, right? That's just a little example. It doesn't have to be super big, but some of us might go, my goal is this thing for my family or this thing for my business. And now I have this new shiny thing that sounds exciting, but they actually don't support each other. And that's just something we have to check, right? Because our goals are usually all pretty good. No one's gonna say, "Hey, you shouldn't do that goal. That's a terrible goal." Like usually, it's like that's awesome, that's awesome, and that's awesome, and then it's all awesome. We gotta remember to come back to wait, what am I really wanting to do here, or create, or live here, right? So just that's why we do that. All right. Next one, what specific action needs to be taken to reach these goals? The top goals that you wrote for May. This one gets a little in the weeds, so I will explain and then I will zip it. But I want you to look at those and start breaking down what are the next steps. You may have said website, but what actually needs to be done? Do I have to find the website person? Do I need to get designs? So I want you to start thinking in terms of actions at this place, right? Not work on my marketing, but write 3 emails, you know, hopefully for all of May. Wouldn't that be lovely? 3 emails. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start the timer now. About 10 seconds left. But look how much you figured out in just a minute. I love it. All right. We've looked at our goals. We made sure that they still make sense. We started talking about what it really means to get them done. What could slip you up this month in May? What are the potential roadblocks? And this is where we get doom and gloom just for a moment, right? So it could be time, it could be energy, it could be your habits, fear, distraction, overcommitment. It could be the actual goal. Well, roadblock is, Joe says no and he's not going to help, right? And that could be a roadblock. That's fine. Just for a minute, we're going to look at what could in reality, not we're not going to go like an asteroid, but like looking at your actual real life, what you have set up, what May is looking like, and your goals, what could get in the way of those goals. So if you're trying to not eat cake and you got invited to a cake fest, that could be a roadblock, right? All right, so I'm going to let the minute start here. You like my cake fest, don't you, Liz? All right. Hopefully that's enough doom and gloom for a minute. Um, when I used to work in music, we had a situation. Liz, you probably heard this a lot because you've been with me for so long. But I had an artist who had another artist who was, a pretty important artist to be on their album that was supposed to do a certain part on their album. And artists being what the artists were that I was working with at the time, it was not easy to get them on any sort of schedule. So it kept going on. The artist two was not helping artist one. Artist one's waiting for artist two, waiting for artist two, and artist two is like, yeah, I'll get to it. Boop, 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 and it's not happening. And artist one is like, this is ruining everything. That was a roadblock. That was a roadblock that we weren't expecting, and we went, "Oh my gosh, what do we do? What do we do?" And I remember the artist going, "My whole album's gonna be done. That's it. That's it. Is that it?" The next question is, what is your roadblock bypass plan? If artist two never shows up, decides I don't even like you, I'm never gonna record on your album, which wasn't the case. They were just young and hard to get on time. Um, but if he does, what do we do? Is it give up all hope or is there another way? Your roadblock bypass plan could be emotional. If this happens, I will be really upset and this is how I'm going to go process that. It could be just thinking, how do I go around it? What's plan B? So that's what I want you to think about here. What if? So, two things. One, can you avoid that roadblock? Can I not go to the cake fest? Can I bring my own dessert to Cake Fest? That's one way to bypass the roadblock. Okay. The other one is, well, what if the roadblock happens? What could I do? What else could I do? So whatever version of that, I'm going to put the timer on now, and let's play with that. So the book doesn't go out on time, the show doesn't go well, whatever that might be. What's the roadblock bypass plan? Oh, we're doing so good. have some roadblock, bypass plans, or the mindset. I'm going to call Tanya. I'm going to go have some chocolate and come back, whatever it might be. Or avoid the chocolate, depends on the goal, right? All right. So we've looked at our goals. We've looked at what the action is. We've made sure that they connect to the bigger picture of what we want. We are looking at what could be in our way, and we're using it ahead of time because our brain doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. So if we can bring those fears up to the surface for a moment and go, well, what are they? What is the thing that could go wrong? And then go, well, what am I going to do with that if it happens? We are prepping not only our mindset, but even our emotions. We are rehearsing how to deal with things that come through. And our brain doesn't know that we're just rehearsing. It's going to go, we've dealt with this before. I know exactly what to do. That's what we're doing with this kind of work, right? The next thing that we're going to do in this same space as we're looking at our goals is to look around us, our environment. What areas of your environment, and that can be everything, community, people, down to your actual desk and what's on it, whatever that means for you, your boundaries, your routines, your support. What needs to be in place for you to win? What needs to be in place for you to actually hit these goals? If it's going to the gym, are we setting the gym bag up the night before? Are we having an Uber that's going to pick us up every day at 6 to make sure we get out there, right? Is it removing the cake? Is it cleaning the desk, cleaning the files, telling someone you're not going to hang out with them this month, right? Whatever it might mean for you, that's what we're looking at. So put a timer on now. And we're almost wrapping up. We'll do our breakout soon. Conversations that need to be had, perhaps. Software to be purchased or learned. Okay. We've really looked at all those spaces and areas of how to support those goals that we wrote down, that idea that we have of what we want to create or have happen in May, right? We've looked at all the different pieces in a very quick time. We've looked at those, right? So as we wrap up this section of planning, this is where we look at ourselves and go, who do you want or need to be in May? Either to make those goals or just how you want to show up. Who do you want to be next month? That identity. How do you want to carry yourself through May? Whatever that version, the May version of you is. March version of me was a lot of planning and organizing. April version of me is like momentum. May version is going to do a lot of travel actually. But who do you want to be next month? You know, sometimes it's the sassy version, maybe the cutthroat version, maybe the open version of you, disciplined, or the one that lets go. It's all you. We're just picking out that part that we need the most. When we look at all this stuff we just wrote down for May, which version of us do we need the most? Or if there's a version of you you're aspiring to, you can look at that as well. To go, you know, normally I freak out and stuff and I want to be the calm version of me next month. It could be that. Whatever it means for you. And as you look at that May version, there are two things we're about to look at. These are the last two questions before we wrap up, and then we'll end our stream. And thank you all on YouTube, and we'll go into our breakouts. So the next one here is looking at the May version of you. How does the May version of you behave? And what actions do they take? So the first one, how do they behave? What does May version of you say? What does May version of you say yes to or no to? How do they handle hard days? How does she show up when she doesn't feel like it? So behaviors are the choices that we make consistently. So that version of you in May, how does that person behave? And if you want to jump ahead, what actions do they take? I took a photo, Sue. My members can see the spaceship of screens I have in front of me to do this stream today. It's wild. All right, if you've looked at those behaviors and you haven't looked at action yet, think about the actions. They are similar but different. Again, behaviors are the things that you do consistently, the choices that you make consistently, and the actions are the specific things you do. So behavior could be I always go to the market on Tuesday. The action is I buy apples when I'm there, right? So if you're like, I don't, and if it's the same, it doesn't matter. Just a good thing to look at the details of who that person is and how you see that version of you showing up. So I'll give you a couple more seconds on that one. Doing good. I'm doing good. Okay. Whew. All right. So beautiful work, everyone. You just did something again. Like I said, most people rarely do. You paused, you told the truth, you got clear, and you chose your next steps with intention and purpose. And that simply monthly practice can change far more than people realize. And so really, I mean, hold that moment. Like this simple thing. There's so much power and insight in that. So again, for those of us joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I saw your little eyes pop up on there. If this session helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, check the show notes for that worksheet if you want to do the upcoming sessions. We do this every month, last Wednesday of the month, along with a ton of other sessions. And if you want to do more than just watching, more support, more accountability, real conversations, a room of thoughtful people, that's what we do here inside of M360. So, because this is the part where my members stay with me live, remember, don't go unless you had to, everybody. We're going to move into our private accountability breakouts and discussion where we go into our reflection and conversation and commitment and momentum. So, again, thank you to our public audience and to my members. Hang tight right there. I think we actually have a cute little thing that tells you to stay here, and we'll keep going. So, bye, everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. Okay. I think it's done. I think that worked. So let me move this out. I think this is still fine that I'm here. This is still fine. Okay, and I want to go get you all. So I have you here. You guys see the screen okay still? Yeah? Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And let me get back then. I just need to see your lovely faces. Okay, there we have it. Perfect. Okay, so we have perfect. Susan, Susan and Liz, you guys are just making my day because I never get to see your faces all the time, and now you're in the same room. Oh, okay. Well, I love it that you guys are both in here. So maybe we'll get you in the same room then. So, oh, okay. No, Liz. Okay. Okay. Susan, are you there? She might still be there. It's okay. All right. Well, if you're not there, Susan, and you're not bringing it with us, I know you two are working accountability. If you are there, we'll chat. And it looks like Aurelie and Cheryl will do their breakouts. So, just to remind everyone, this is what we're doing. So, it's just the last couple minutes we have here. You're going to go and review what you just wrote down as far as what your top goals were for this month, whatever you've already written that feels okay to share. But your main point is to go, yes, that's all great stuff. What's the top one that you would like me to hold you to this month? What's the one thing that you are like, please make sure I do this? Then we need to talk about what specific actions need to take place. It's glad that your goal is your website, but like what specifically do you want me to hold you to? And when and how. So whether you guys do email, you text, whatever works out, that's what's for the breakout. And that's what you'll decide. So this will be in there and we'll go ahead. Most of you aren't new to this and we'll do our breakout. So let me stop the share for a moment. Let me get, yes, bye. All right, we'll get our breakout rooms. I'm going to assign two. All right. And yeah, it looks like the other gals are gone anyway. So there we go. So I will do one breakout room if it lets me do it. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is so silly, y'all. Options. Ah, okay. So the only option I have now is two breakout rooms. So I'm going to move to the other one. All right. We're going to open those room. I know it's just the two of you, but jump in and we'll still do that work. And we'll come back with a quick chit chat and be out. So, Aurelie, I hope she's coming back. Cheryl, if no one's there, you come back and let me know. But she's coming back. Okay. So, there you go. Um, all right. And I am going to share this, share to breakout rooms. There we go. About 2 more minutes and I'm going to bring you ladies back. It's like the longest minute ever. It's like the darkest